Orange sunset in the evening. Coat the village head with a layer of warm light. The sea breeze blows gently, with a touch of salty tears. Xiang and her girlfriend Lan stared at each other in silence, as if to take each other's appearance, deeply etched in my mind. The next second, Xiang stretched out his hand, hold him tightly in your arm, kissed him affectionately. The girl's hand clasped on his back. It trembled slightly. Push open the door. Shout, John. Change your shoes. Getting ready to go in. When he looked up, he was startled by the scene in front of him. In the main house, parents and grandmother sat upright at the table, staring at him quietly. The eyes are indescribably strange. Xiang's heart tightened. He smiled stiffly. What's wrong with you looking at me like this? You startled me. The three quickly retracted their gaze. In a panic, they bowed their heads and were busy. Father coughed. Pick up the teacup casually. Mother lowered her head and fiddled with her chopsticks. Grandma stared at the bead in her hand, rubbing without a word. There was a strange sense of oppression in the air. Xiang frowned. The anxiety deepened. He has lived with his family on this small fishing island since he was a child. But in recent days, parents and grandmothers are behaving more and more strangely. From time to time, I use that strange look. Look at yourself. That gaze sent chills all over him, but they wouldn't say anything. Xiang didn't ask any more questions. I took a few quick bites of dinner. He went back to his room and closed the door. Xiang is lying on the bed. Flip through the photos in the phone album. Over the years, he and Lan, every bit spent on this small island. It was sealed photo by photo. Childhood sweetheart. Inseparable since childhood. Never been apart. But this day, it's finally here. There is a rule in the fishing village. Young people must leave the island at the age of 18. Go out into a career. Can't come back. The village has always been dominated by the older generation and children. In a few days, Xiang is 18 years old. It also means he has to get out of here. Live in a big city outside the island. And Lan has to wait a year to find him. Xiang sighed. An indescribable sadness in my heart. Suddenly, a cold meaning scurried up the back. He turned his head sharply. Heartbeat missed a beat in an instant. I don't know when the bedroom door. Sheng sucked and pushed open a door crack. In the shadows outside the door, the figure of a tall building stands. A pair of cloudy eyes is staring at him without blinking. Xiang's heart is beating wildly. Slammed out of bed. Open the door. Grandma, what are you doing? The old man corrected himself. Then he gave a stiff smile, pretending to turn around and go back to defense. Disappear into the darkness. The corridor outside the door was silent. Only the clock on the wall is ticking. Xiang turned over and over this night. I didn't fall asleep until the second half of the night. 18th birthday night. The lights of the fishing village flicker in the night. Xiang sat at the long table in the main room, looking at the birthday cake on the table. Barely raised the corners of his mouth towards the sitting round the table. Parents and grandma smiled. But that smile can't reveal joy. Father takes out his phone. I clicked on a video. A familiar face appears in the picture. Xiang's eyes lit up. He leaned closer to the screen. In the video, Dapping has a bright smile on his face, waving at the camera. Happy birthday, Xiang. You are finally 18, right? Congratulations. You can finally come to me. I'm in the city, and everything is fine, and it's going really well. I just miss our village sometimes. Not much to say. Waiting for you. Let's get together. The ROC on the screen doesn't look much different. Even more energetic than before. Soho's heart is full of emotion. It's tougher. Determined to go to the city. Video finished. Mom smiled and cut a few pieces of cake. Put your hands in front of Xiaoxiang. Happy birthday, have a piece of cake. Xiaoxiang took the cake, just about to eat. Suddenly, a strong sense of unease crept up in my heart, like a pair of invisible hands, and she grabbed him by the neck. It took his breath away, and he looks up. The movements of the three people in front of them seemed to be influenced by some kind of force. Frozen frame. I still maintain the position I just did in my hand, but he stared at himself without blinking. Those eyes are cold and weird, like observing some prey. Xiaoxiang's heart twitched fiercely. With a shake of his hand, the cake fell to the ground, Mom whispered. But he didn't pick up the cake. It's like not seeing it. Still smiling at him. The father immediately handed over another piece. The calm tone is not right. Don't clean up yet. Birthday is more important. Xiaoxiang, eat your birthday cake. The three people still stared at him motionless, with a weird smile on his face. Xiaoxiang's hair exploded all over his body. He looked at the cake his father had handed him. I haven't reached out to pick it up for a long time. Dry throat. What's wrong with you guys lately? Why are you always looking at me like this? Is there something wrong with this cake? It's like the air is frozen. The smiles on the faces of the three people across the table, a little stiff. It was as if a secret had been exposed that should not have been exposed. You child, what nonsense are you talking about? Mom quickly smiled to round the scene. The tone is gentle and unnatural. What's the problem? This is your favorite cake. But Xiaoxing's sense of unease not only did not disappear, it gets stronger. Cold sweat seeped from his palms. He slowly shook his head. Dry voice. I'm not feeling too well. Go back to your room and rest. And he stood up to leave. Suddenly, a cold light flashed before his eyes. He subconsciously dodged to the side. Just listened to a poof. Something slammed into the wooden table. He took a look at the east. Cardiac arrest. It's a sharp, boning knife. Father's hand still holds the hilt of the knife. The smile on his face disappeared. It was replaced by a grim indifference. Dad, you. Xiaoxiang's words are not finished yet. His mother suddenly lunged at him. He even had a kitchen knife in his hand. Eyes that experience weird madness. Xiaoxiang Sutra. Hurry up and roll over to avoid. The blade brushed under his face. The sharp meaning almost cut through his skin. Don't blame us, Xiaoxiang. Father's voice was low and cold. The boning knife in his hand was slowly raised. A creepy smile arose at the corner of the mouth. Don't run away. Be obedient, child. The mother's voice also contained a strange tenderness. But the knife in his hand. But I'm used to looking at the alley mercilessly. Xiaoxiang completely panicked. He turned around in horror and rushed out of the house. But Grandma's figure stood in the way of the door, holding a pair of bright scissors in his hand. The wrinkles on the face in the dim light, terribly twisted. Don't be afraid, Xiaox. The old man's voice was old and hoarse. The corners of the mouth rise slightly, show an uprising smile. Grandma won't hurt you. Before the words fall, the scissors in his hand stabbed him violently. Xiaoxiang almost instinctively jumped to the side, knocked over tables and chairs. Liang rushed into the kitchen choking, push open the back door, and run into the night. Behind them were the shouts of my parents and my grandmother. Step by step, his heart was beating with joy. A sweet, bloody smell welled up in my throat, and everything he doesn't care about. I can only escape desperately. In a panic, step on the air, fell into the foot of the backyard, fell hard to the ground. It hurts to breathe straight air. The footsteps above are getting closer and closer. He took the pain and stepped back, inadvertently touched my finger, an earthen stone brick in the corner of the cellar. A deep and tender sound came. One wall of the cellar was slowly pushed back, revealing a dark tunnel. Xiao Sheng's breathing stopped for an instant. There is Anmin at home. He dared not think too much. He turned his head and glanced up. Footsteps are already approaching. Xiao Sheng clenched his teeth with fear and doubt, trembling into the dark passage. The dark passage seems to have no end. Xiao Sheng groped forward. The surrounding mirrors are terrifying. Only yourself. The sound of rapid breathing echoed in the narrow space. Finally, there is a faint light ahead. Xiaoxiang holds his breath. Approach slowly. The space in front of you suddenly brightened, like an underground warehouse. The road extends in all directions. Deep and numb scalp. Didn't get very far. He was completely disoriented. I don't know where I am. I don't even know where to go. He forced himself to calm down. Walked slowly in the direction of the light. Suddenly, there was a faint voice in front of him. Xiaoxiang was shocked. Immediately hide behind a stone pillar. Hold your breath. Prick up your ears and listen. Not far from the end of the corridor, several people are walking slowly. Xiao Sheng's pupils suddenly dilated. The person walking in the front was actually himself. No. Although that person looks exactly like me, but the temperament is completely different. Expensive suits are neatly ironed. .com feet, with a hint of indifference on his face. Behind him is his father. Xiao Xiang's heart almost burst. Clenched fists. Nails sink deep into the palm. They walk and talk. The voice echoed in the deep passage. Mr. Li, I'm really sorry. We're in a hurry. Father and wife respectful. It's nothing like what you usually look like at home, but it doesn't matter. He can't escape this island. The Li Gongzi, who is exactly like himself. For Hunched, faint voice. Is that okay? Father nodded. Of course there will be no problem. The clone's genes match you exactly. The success rate of surgery is 100%. For the past 2 years, we have been ensuring that. Their bodies are in top condition. Xiaoxiang is cold all over. Violent ups and downs in the chest. Ears buzzing. My mind goes blank. Our island, it is specially designed to cultivate clones for high-end customers. Don't worry, Li Gongzi. We are all the most professional. Never miss. Father's voice was calm and terrifying, as if they were just chatting about a trivial matter. Xiaoxiang trembled all over when he heard it. Cold fear crept up the spine little by little. It turns out that those so-called young people who enter the city, friends who have left the village, they never really set foot on a new life. He was sent to the operating table. Organ removal. Completely disappeared. And he himself is but a lamb to be slaughtered. He was shaking all over. My heart hurts like it was torn apart. This feeling of loneliness and helplessness, like an island in the depths of a stormy sea. It's just a living organ bank, a worker body that can be harvested at any time. Those warm memories, the fetters of family, it's just an elaborate scam. Xiao Zheng clenched his teeth. Orbital redness. However, just then, A shrill sound of electricity exploded behind him. Intense electric current hit the whole body in an instant. He fell to the ground in an instant, limbs twitching, gradually fade away. His mother stood behind him. A smug smile arose at the corner of his mouth. He had a taser gun in his hand. Xiang, be good and don't run around. He opened his eyes in a daze. A snow-white ceiling was reflected in his pupils. The smell of disinfectant fills the air. The body is still a little stiff. His limbs don't seem to belong to him. His head was as heavy as if it had been filled with lead. Then a man in a white coat. He came up with a smile, with a charming smile on her face. You're awake. Our surgery was a success. Your 2 kidneys. All have been replaced with a brand new, healthy kidney source. Indicators are all normal. Your illness is completely cured. And he looks down. Thick bandages on the abdomen. I can vaguely feel the tingling of the stitched wound. The corners of his mouth slowly tilted. Show a relieved smile. See the white coat? Bend down more attentively. Take out a printed manuscript from Gu Wenbao. Put your hands in front of him. Li Gongzi, according to our agreement, all you need to do is record a video, even if our deal is officially completed. Please take a look at the content first. It's best to memorize it roughly. Strive for 1 pass. Hi, Lan Lan, I am Xiang. Long time no see. I miss you so much. I'm doing well in big cities now. Have found a decent and well-paying job. I'm waiting for you now. Then I will make you my most beautiful bride. Come on, I'm waiting for you. Orange sunset in the evening. Coat the village head with a layer of warm light. The sea breeze blows gently, with a touch of salty tears. Xiang and her girlfriend Lan stared at each other in silence, as if to take each other's appearance, deeply etched in my mind. The next second, Xiang stretched out his hand. Hold him tightly in your arms. Kissed him getting ready to go in. When he looked up, he was startled by the scene in front of him. In the main house, parents and grandmothers sat upright at the table, staring at him quietly. The eyes are indescribably strange. Xiang's heart tightened. He smiled stiffly. What's wrong with you looking at me like this? You startled me. The 3 quickly retracted their gaze. In a panic, they bowed their heads and were busy. Father coughed. Pick up the teacup casually. Mother lowered her head and fiddled with her chopsticks. Grandma stared